two types of the canals or the channels. One is the unlined and second one is the lined channels. Okay, means that the unlined, that is the alluvial channel. Okay, right? I mean, that is the mobile bed channels, and the line channel means that is the rigid channel. Mostly that is rigid channel. Okay. So we had discussed the design methodology of these various types of the channels. Now today we have to discuss about the some salient features of the canals, because once we go for the construction of the canals, then we should know, in addition to the requirement of the section, what are the other things that are to be provided. So today we have to discuss some, you see, the detailings of the unlined canal. So first we'll discuss about the detailing of the unlined canals. Then we'll discuss about the detailing of the lined canal. And after that, we have to discuss a very important part, and that is the under drainage design of the lined canal. Okay, so we'll discuss that one in detail, but let us go with the detailing of the unlined canals, right? So whatever we have discussed so far, right, we will be in position to know whatever the methods that we are using. Just 1 minute. So whatever the methods that we have to use for the design of the canal, right? See here, we are talking about the alluvial canal, right? We are not talking about the lined canal right now. So all the detailings that is related to the unlined canal or the alluvial canal. Okay. Whatever the methodology that we have discussed, I think we have discussed about the tractive force approach. Once we have the clear water, we have discussed this Kennedy method, we have discussed the Lacey method, we have discussed the Englund and Hansen method for the design of the alluvial channels, which is carrying the sediment load, right? So if you have a discharge, sediment size, sediment load, I think you can invoke such methods and you can design this section. So now see, we know, or we have designed, okay, this is the section, okay, right, which is required. And of course, this is the depth of the flow. This is the depth of the flow, right? So we have fixed here what is the depth, what is the side slope here, 1:2 m or whatever is, and this is the bed width, right? So these are the things that we have discussed, okay? In the case of the alluvial channel, one thing that I had discussed with you is, see, in the alluvial channels, you have to take the side slope, okay? I mean, in the resin condition, this side slope, this M is coming out to be half, right? Means one vertical and half horizontal. At the time of the construction, you will not attain this, okay? You see, the canal maybe in the cutting or maybe in the filling, whatever is, but you will not attain this, right? So in that case, what is being done is, although you need this section, I mean, this is the section that is to be, that is attained by the flowing water, but you have to provide at the time of the construction this slope, right? So you have some slope, let us say, if this is in the cutting, you may have 1:1 slope. If this is in the filling, you may have 1:1.5 slope, right? What happens that with the flow of the water, there is sediment silting here. So here is the silting, right? And finally, the slope that is attained by the flowing water, okay, and which is stable, right? This is the slope that I have told you, one horizontal, you see, sorry, one vertical and half horizontal, right? So that slope you will get one vertical and half horizontal. So at the time, once you construct this canal, you have to provide this slope, right? And automatically this canal that will attain another slope, and this slope that we are saying as a regime slope. So this is the regime slope that is attained by the flowing water. Reason behind that one is, in this case, there is some very fine materials, even the clay that is having the deposition here, clay and the fine silt, right? And that's why you attain even a very steep slope, right, after running the canal. So one thing you have to remember, once we construct the canal, in that case, this canal that will be constructed for a slope, which is a milder slope, side slope, but over the time that will attain a steep slope due to the position of the sediment. So these are the things that you have to keep in mind. Now the question arises here is, or the things that we have to see, okay, we have designed this section, right? So what about the methodology that we have discussed here? Okay, we have designed this section, but what about the detailing of this? Whether only this section that will be sufficient, or that is to be supplemented with the other things, right? Say we have, this is, I am talking some general things, that then will come to the detailing part, because this is important to understand. This is, let us say you have, this is the NSL. This is the natural surface. Okay. I mean, this is a ground level. And you have to construct this canal, and this canal this canal may be in complete cutting, right? Complete cutting means your full supply level that is on the natural surface level or below the natural surface, means that your canal is like this, okay, right? This is the depth, full supply depth. You can say this one as a FSD. This is a term that is being used, full supply depth. Okay, this is the full supply depth. Okay, and this one is the water level. This one is the water level. So once the water level, right? I mean, this is the water level or full supply level. Also, this is so called. Better we write here the FSL, right? FSL means the full supply level. So this one is the FSL, right? This is not HFL. HFL is the highest flood level, and highest flood level you will get in the river, in the drains, not in the canal, because in the canal you have the regulated flow. You have the regulated flow in the canal. So here we'll get the full supply level, right? The full supply level in this case, if this FSL is less than or equal to NSL, then the canal is in complete cutting. Complete cutting. Like, okay, it is clear, means that you have to excavate. Okay, if this full supply level is above the NSL, let me extend this line, and say the full supply level is here, it's not here.
Sir, NSL stands for?
Yeah.
Sir, NSL stands for?
Natural surface level, ground level. This is natural surface level, means that is the ground level. You can say GL also, or you can say the NSL also. You can say that one is a GL also, means that is a ground. So now you can see here a section of the canal. In this section of the canal, this water level, I mean, this is the full supply depth. This one is the FSD, okay, and the full supply level is this. So you can see here, this much part of the flow, this is above the NSL. I mean, this is in the filling, right? This is in the filling, and this much part, this much is in cutting, right? So once the FSL is above the NSL, but the bed level of this canal, this is the bed level. This is the bed level. Okay. So if your FSL is greater than NSL and bed level is lower than the NSL, okay, then you have, in this case, this is the second one, this is the first one. Then you have the canal that is partially in cutting, and partially in filling. Means you have to fill the soil, then you have to construct it. Okay. So you have seen the two scenarios. Is it clear to you? Yes. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
I'm not getting your voice. Now, there may be a third condition where the NSL is below, the NSL is somewhere here. This is the natural surface level, right? And the canal that we are constructing is somewhere here. The canal is here, right? So you can see here the bed level of the canal, even the bed level of the canal, that is higher than your NSL. The bed level is greater than the NSL. Okay, so you have to fill the soil, right? And you have to construct this canal. So this one is, you can say, this is in the complete filling. This canal that is in complete filling. And you have to bring the earth from somewhere, and then you have to construct it. Let us say your full supply depth is this, right? Full supply depth is this. This one is the water level, right? Okay. Now you have to see the other detailing part also. Okay. Since here you have the service road, okay, and then you have to join with the NSL. Here also you have some banks, and then you have to join with the NSL, right? Okay. In general, in the canal, one bank, that is a service road. I mean, this service road, it is not necessary that that should be a metallic road, okay, but that should be sufficient, okay, vehicle can move on this, right? And second bank, that may be just a bank, okay. It is, I mean, the service road is not required here on the other bank, okay, so that will be a normal bank, right? Now, in the service road, maybe in the some canal, you have the road on both the sides. I am saying from the canal construction point of view. I am not talking from a road construction point of view. Maybe a canal which is having the road on both the banks, right? Okay. So I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking in the light of the canal construction. Okay. If you are converting the bank of the canal in the form of a road, that's fine. That is not an issue. Okay. But in general, this canal, you have the one service road. Service road means here I mean, this one you can say the inspection road, because the vehicle that can run on this, okay, so that this canal that can be inspected, okay, even for carrying the material, okay, for the construction of the canal and for the maintenance of the canal, that is required, okay, right? So you can see here now a term that will come in picture, and that term is maybe your this bank level that will be different than your service road level, okay, right? So here we'll define a term that is so called the freeboard, okay. So this one is a freeboard. Freeboard means that this much cushion we keep in the canal. If later stage we have to increase the discharge, okay, then that can be increased, or for a some moment of the time we have to draw more discharge, then the water that can board in this free space. So this free board, okay, this is the difference of the lowest level of either of these two banks, this bank and this bank, lowest level of either of these two minus the full supply dam. So you have to note down here, if let us say this road level is on the higher side, okay, then we have to take the lowest level. Reason behind this is obvious, okay, because we can't board beyond the lowest level of the either of the bank, because in that case there will be overflow. So this is the free board. In general, this free board, this is related to the discharge. In the IS code, it is written, okay, so what should be the free board? तो class चल रही है, कल कर लेंगे. What should be the free board, right? This is in the IS code is related to the discharge. I mean, this is a function of the discharge, and I will tell you, okay, for the different discharge, how much free board that we have to take. So you can say this is a function of the discharge, okay? This is one I am talking a irrigation canal. I am not talking about the power channel, right? Power channel is entirely different. In that case, of course, the design methodology that will be same, but the free board that will be not decided on the basis of just discharge, that is also decided on the basis of the surge analysis, right? Then coming next, right? See, on, let us say this one is a right bank. This one is a right bank, okay. And this one is the left bank, and left bank is having the service road, okay. Now in the right bank, since there is no vehicle that is moving, okay, so you have not to provide anything near to this point, okay, right, from the safety consideration. But in the case of the service road, you have to provide here, right, this is so called a dowel. So you can say here, this is a dowel, DOWEL, or you can say also this one as a dowla. So this one, from a safety consideration, this is being provided, okay. And in general, this dowla, this is having a height of 0.5 meter, right? Top width of this one is also, let me rub the other things, then I will give the dimension of this one. So here this dimension is 0.5 meter, 0.5 meter. Height of this one is also 0.5 meter, right? The side slope here, this is kept one vertical and 1.5 horizontal, maybe 2 also. So this is the dowel or the dowla that is being provided, okay. But remember here, the free board is not taken from top of the dowla. Is it clear?
Can you please repeat the second condition of partially in cutting and partially filling?
You are late here. You're supposed to discuss earlier once I had discussed. Anyhow, come to slide is still here. You can see the section of this canal.
Yes,
This
sir.
is the section of the canal, right? And where is the NSL? NSL is somewhere here, right? This is the NSL. You can say ground level or the NSL, that is the same thing, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
where
got
is the full supply level? Full supply level is this, right? So your full supply level is above the ground level.
Sir.
You are not audible to me.
Yes, sir.
Your full supply level, this FSL, is above the NSL. In that case, what you have to do? You have to fill the soil. Partially you have to cut it. This much you have to cut it. Okay. This much you have to do the cutting. I mean, let me write here. This will be the cutting. And this much will be in the filling. Okay. So this is partial in cutting, partial in filling. So have you understood this?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. Now, could you tell me what is the freeboard? I have explained to you just now.
Sir, in which case?
In any case, what is the freeboard?
Sir, it's function of the discharge for irrigation canal. Like
no, that's fine. That is, I'm not talking about the. This is a function of discharge.
The road level and the full supply level.
This is the difference of the
road level and full supply level.
It's not road level. Again, I want to tell you, this is not a road level.
Okay.
This is the, the minimum level of either of the two banks, right? Minimum level of either of the two banks minus the full supply level.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let me explain in the other slide, because this is, I have seen most of the time these are confused. You have a canal like this, right? This is the bank level of the canal, and this is the bank level of the canal, right? Full supply level is this. This is the FSL. So what is the freeboard? Freeboard in this case is A, or freeboard in this case is B. What is the freeboard here?
B.
So B.
May I know the name of both the students who have just responded?
Aniruddha Das and Shivam Bhardwaj.
Okay. Second one is Anil Bhardwaj.
Aniruddha Das.
Anil, I could not get you.
Aniruddha Das. Aniruddha.
Okay. Das.
Yes, sir.
Just 1 minute. One minute, please. Okay. So this is the minimum, virtually this is the minimum space that the water can board, right? And I've also explained you this dowla. So have you understood this dowla? This one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This may be earthen. I mean, this may be of this just soil, or this may be of the brick wall also, right? So you can see in the Upper Ganga Canal while going to Delhi, you might have seen this brick wall that is being provided, and that brick wall is nothing but the dowel, right? This is just from the safety consideration. This is from the safety consideration, nothing to do with the flowing of the water. Nothing to do with the flowing of the water. This is just for the safety consideration, because if the vehicle is moving here, that should not, of course, go inside this water. Okay, right? Now, what are the other things? Okay, one thing more I explain to you, then I will take the another top. I mean, I will discuss in continuation, but one thing I want to explain to you. See, once we are going here for a canal, let us say in particular in the case of the filling, let us say the NSL is somewhere here, NSL is here, and we are constructing a canal like this, which is completely in filling, right? Okay. Or otherwise, take otherwise. I'm taking the NSL is somewhere here, and the canal is in the deep cutting. Okay, so you have the NSL here, and the canal is in the deep cutting. The canal section that is required like this. Okay, so this one is the full supply depth, and you have this canal. Now this is to be joined. This is to be joined with the NSL, right? Now there is two options. If you go like this, okay, then this height will be large. That will be very large, okay, and your slope, this slope, that may be unstable. I mean, this slope that may be unstable, right? Okay, then what you have to do? In that case, what is being done is, I'm using the another color here. Here a offset is being provided, right? Okay, and then that is being joined. Okay, maybe two offsets that will be provided. Then you have to come to the NSL, right? And here this offset, okay, this is so-called berm, right? So berms are provided to give the stability of the slope. So if you are going, let us say, with this slope, then this slope may not be stable, okay? But if you go with this slope, then this will be stable. Reason behind that one is, in this case, you have provided the berms, okay? Now, what should be the width of this berm, okay? We'll discuss that part, because depending on where the water level is, if the water level is here and the depth of the flow here is D, then this berm that is being provided of the minimum 2D. Okay, right? If that is in partial cutting, partial filling, then that is being provided in a different way. Okay, right? So I have introduced here the one term that is so-called the berm, right? I've introduced some more terms. I think you might have understood this. Okay, so let me introduce the some other terms here also. Sometimes what happens that, let us say, in the same way, you have the canal that is in the deep cutting. Okay, so you have the NSL here. This is the NS, and the canal that is somewhere here, right? And in that case, this whole soil, this soil that is to be, this is to be removed from here. Okay, let me use the another color here of this canal. So you have this canal, and you have constructed, provided here the berm, and then you have joined here. Then you have provided a berm, then you have joined here. Of course, here you will provide some dowla. Here you provide some dowla. Dowla is required only along this service road. So if you have this one is the service road, you have to provide the dowla. If you don't have the service, I mean the other bank, dowla is not required. Okay. Now, since you have excavated this much huge volume of the soil, where you will take this? Because if you carry this one to a different place, the cost factor that will come in picture. Okay, in general, you see this, we have seen recently the Madh Ganga phase 2. okay, where this canal that is in the deep excavation, right? So this excavated soil that are to be managed, and how that is being managed? That is being managed by providing a spoil bank. Okay, I mean this is put beyond this bank of this canal. We are saying that one is the spoil bank, right? And this is also not continuous. Okay, this bank is not continuous. I mean this is the stacking of the soil, and that is not continuous. Okay, you have at the some distances you have to provide a gap so that the water which is coming from here, that should not stop. So this spoil banks are being provided where you have a very, you see, this excavated material that is in large in quantity. Okay, now coming to, if you have any question, please let me know. Otherwise I will show you the slide. I hope I have explained most of the things. The remaining part I will explain through the slides. If you have any question, please let me know. Okay, I had told you in the canal, the freeboard, that is a function of the discharge. Okay, and that freeboard is 0.5 meter if the discharge is less than 10 cumex, and if the discharge is more than 10 cumex, then you have to provide this one is 0.75 meter. Okay, then coming to the bank top width, what should be the bank top width? Means that your canal is here and this is the bank. Okay, what is the top of this bank? What is the top width? So this is depending on, of course, what is the discharge. Okay, for the inspection bank means where you have the road, right? And non-inspection bank means there is no road there, right? So for a given discharge in this range, you have this much 5 meter bed width, here 1.5 meter, because here vehicle is not going. Likewise, if you have 15 to 30 meter cube per second, inspection road is about 7 meter, and here in non-inspection is 3.5 meter. One thing more that you have to note down, this inspection bank, this is excluding the dowel. Okay, so if you are providing a dowel, that is to be excluded from here. Any question, please? Okay, then coming to the hydraulic gradient. Okay, for the you see, you can do that one, the detailing of this. Okay, I mean I don't know whether you know the phreatic line or not. Do you know the phreatic line?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
You know the phreatic line. So virtually here we do some approximation, right? Let us say I am drawing here itself a canal that is in the use a different color here. A canal. Okay, the canal is here. The canal is here, right? You see the bank, and here is the NSL. Here is the NSL. This point is NSL, and you have the water here. You have the water level in this, right? Okay. So you can, I mean, invoking here, of course, the Laplace equation, you can compute what would be the phreatic line of this. Okay, right? I mean, below this, the soil is saturated. This soil is saturated here. Right? Okay. But in the, of course, in this case, lot of the exercise that are to be done. So what is in the irrigation engineering, what we do that this phreatic line which is curved, okay, this is approximated as a linear line here, okay, and the slope of this one depending on the different type of the soil, like the silty soil, silty sand, sandy soil, okay, you have the different slope of this. Here the slope, let us say I'm putting here 1:5. Okay, so this is virtually a approximation of the phreatic line, right? What we see here is this bank line this bank line, let me rub this and redraw because this is touching the surface. So let me redraw with a different color. I mean, this line, okay, this line that should not touch the bank line. Okay, if this will touch the bank line, in that case, your bank that will be saturated, right? This bank will be saturated. So your phreatic line, I mean this phreatic line, that should be well below this phreatic line, that should be well below the bank line. Okay, otherwise there will be saturation, and once there will be saturation, then this bank slope that may fail. In general, I think this is 0.3 meter. Yeah, 0.3 meter is the minimum cover. I mean here, this should be distance here is 0.3 meter, right? So once we are constructing a canal which is in filling, right? Because the problem arises only in the filling part. Okay, in that case, we have to draw the phreatic line, which is approximated like this, and then you have to see what is the minimum cover of the water that is available as per the IS code. That should be 0.3 meter. So have you understood this? This is from the safety consideration of this bank. Okay, if this will be saturated, then that may fail. Any question, please?
Sir, here the original phreatic lines is shown as curve, and then we have approximated it in a linear form.
Yes.
But sir, like phreatic line can be any curve. Like
no, that's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying that you can do this exercise because to get this phreatic line, the true phreatic line, right? Okay, by solving the subsurface flow equations, I fully understand. But in the design of the canal, okay, you can do some approximation, right? Have you understood?
so, sir, irrespective of any curve, we just approximate it to a linear of a line.
I am not saying that for any curve you approximate by a linear line. I'm not saying that. Okay. What I'm saying that, of course, in this case, your phreatic line, this line is elliptical, okay, or having some other, in general, that is elliptical, and that one we are approximating by this. Okay, we are approximating by this just for the convenience. And if you feel that, okay, your feeling is very high, in that case, you can invoke your equation, you can solve this, and you can get this phreatic line. Okay, but since this canal that is not a very high structures, okay, therefore this approximation that is written here, that is sufficient. But if you feel that, okay, in particular in the power channel, which is in very high filling, in that case you can solve this Laplace equation, you can get this phreatic line. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Then curves in the canals, I think we had discussed sometimes here, curves in the canals. In the alluvial canals, of course, these are the radius. Okay, so this is the minimum radius that is to be provided in the case of the alluvial canals, right? Now, the drawings that I had shown you, okay, now you take the complete picture of that drawing. And first one is, let me explain the first one, which is canal in the partial cutting and partial filling. Okay, right? So a part of that one is in the filling and part of that one is in the cutting, right? And your ground level is here. You can see, follow my pointer, this pen here. Ground level is here, right? The canal is here. Now you can see here, this canal is constructed like this. Canal is constructed like this. But what happens that due to air silting, the slope that is attained here, okay, this is 0.5:1. Here it is IS code, it is wrongly written 1.5, that is 0.5. Okay, right? 0.5. I mean 0.5 horizontal, 1 vertical. Okay, and here the silting will be there. So you can see the full supply level is this, right? Free board is this one. This is the free board, right? And then a berm is being provided, which is 2 times of the depth of the flow, right? And then a bank that is being provided here. What will be the bank width that we have already discussed, right? And this side slope that will be decided on the basis of what type of the soil is. But in general, in the filling, will take 1 vertical, 1.5 horizontal. Okay, this is a non-inspection bank, but this one is an inspection bank on the left-hand side. So you can see here, this dowel, as I told you, 0.5 meter. Height of this one is also 0.5 meter in general that is being provided. Okay, and this is the road width, and this one is the side slope, right? So I think you have understood this. If you have any question in the canal, in part that is in cutting or part in the filling, please let me know so that I can move to the canal fully in cutting. Sorry, fully in filling. So now you can see here also. Yes.
Sir, is this hydraulic grade line the same as phreatic line which you showed earlier?
Repeat
in
again.
Second diagram below.
Yes, this is the same thing. Hydraulic grade line or the phreatic line. Okay, that is the same thing, right? I mean, this. Yes.
What's the use of this hydraulic grade line here?
No. Use of this one is, I tell you. Okay. Let me explain that one in the other, using a slide here. See, you have a canal which is in the filling, right? You see the bank. Okay. Wait. Your NSL is this. That's right. Water level is this. This is the water level in the canal. Now this water, okay, this will seep because this is alluvial canal. Even though this is a lined canal, there will be seepage of the water. Okay, because this is canal is lining is not 100% waterproof. Okay, water that will seep through this, right? And once that will seep, in that case, your soil that will be saturated. Up to what level that will be saturated? Okay, so I'm drawing here a line saying that up to this level, this will be saturated. I mean, below this soil that is saturated, and above this soil is unsaturated, maybe partially, but that is unsaturated, or maybe dry. So this line is, you see, a line which is dividing the two zones of the soil. Okay, which one is completely saturated, another one is unsaturated. Okay, and this one we are saying as a hydraulic gradient line. You can say this one is a phreatic line. Okay, right? And this one you can solve by the sum equation, but in the irrigation engineering, because this height is not very high, in that case we'll approximate this one by the sum slope. Okay, now if your phreatic line that will meet this surface, this bank, this side slope, okay, this is the slope, right? Then your complete soil that will be saturated. And I think in the soil mechanics you might have gone through, if a bank that will get saturated, whether that will be more prone to the failure. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and that's why here we arrest this phreatic line, okay, by some means, okay, right? And by extending this bank like this, so that you see this line, this phreatic line, that should not touch the surface. Otherwise, there may be the failure of this bank. I hope now you have understood this. Okay. So now you can see this one in the filling. In the filling again, the slope that here, the slope that will be constructed is different. But after the construction, the slope that will be attained, that will be different. Okay. And here is the berm that is being provided. Here the berm is equal to 3 times of the D, which is in the partially in filling. Sorry, fully in the filling. Then the freeboard here, right? And minimum cover, that one I have already discussed with you. Then you have the complete in cutting, right? So you can see here, your ground level is somewhere here. Your ground level is going like this. Okay. This is completely in cutting, right? And in that case, you have to provide the berm. So if you have, let us say, from the NSL to bed is C and depth of the flow is D, in that case, this berm that will be equal to C plus half of the D, right? Okay. In addition to this, you have to provide here the drainage. Drains you have to provide, okay, right? Otherwise, that will cut the soil, and that soil that will come in the canal. So this is the canal which is in the fully in the cutting. Now in the IS code, it is written, okay. I mean, this is just again from a preliminary design of point of view. And if you feel that the slope that may fail, then you can check that slope with the slope stability methods. Okay. So you see canal in the filling, in general, the slope that is being kept 1:1.5, and in the cutting that is 1:1 to 1.5. Okay. That depends also the soil, but this is just approximation. Forms I have already discussed with you. Forms I have discussed with you. Dowels also I have discussed with you, right? Then coming to the borrow pits. So let me explain this borrow pits, what actually mean this borrow pits is. But the spoil banks I have discussed with you. The next one is coming the turfing. Okay. What happens that if the canal, let me explain in the another slide. The canal, if that canal that is in the complete filling, and you have the bank like this is the NSL, right? Now this bank, if you leave as it is, then once there will be rain here, there will be rain. In that case, this rain that will cut the surface. Okay, right? I mean, that is the weather cut, you can say. You can say this one is the weather cut due to rain, right? This is the weather cut. Then what is being done here is, okay, grass are grown here. Here the grass that is grown, okay, and this grass that we are saying as a turfing, sorry, this is so called a turfing, right? I mean, this is a special type of the grass which is having the dense roots, right? So that this water, the precipitation, I mean the rainfall, that should not cut this, right? So turfing that is being done, and you can see this one in the photograph. Could you see here the photograph? This turfing is being done. Okay. Another one is the borrow pits. Okay. In partially in the filling. Okay. I mean, if the canal, yes, canal is in the filling, or maybe in partial cutting and the partial filling. I mean, let us say you have the NSL like this, and your canal is like this. Okay, and you are making the okay, you are providing some berm here. Let us say you are providing the canals like this. Okay, right, some banks like this. Now see here, here is a one term that is being used is a balancing depth. So I have not written here in this slide balancing depth. Have you heard about this balancing depth? Balancing depth means, okay, the depth here of the cutting, right? This depth of the cutting, right? Such that the quantity or the volume of the cutting is equal to volume of the filling, right? So that you have not to take the swirl from the some other place. So this is the balancing depth, right? But if let us say your cutting, your filling is more than cutting, filling is more than cutting, right? In that case, what is being done is, of course, you have to take the swirl from the somewhere. Are you hearing me? अगर आपकी फीलिंग ज्यादा है कटिंग से तो आपको मिट्टी कहीं बाहर से लानी पड़ेगी.
Yes, sir.
In that case, what is being done is in the middle of this canal from the bed, right? Okay, a trench that is excavated, and this soil that is being used in the filling, right? And after the construction of this canal, the canal shape that will be like this, and this one we are saying that is a borrow pit, okay, right? Borrow pits, right? Once the canal will run, the canal is always having some sediment. That sediment will fill this borrow pit, okay? So in that case, you can, of course, save money here, right? Otherwise, you have to take the material from the some other places, and that will be the cost. The borrow pits that are being provided in the center of the canal. Then the last one is once you have designed the canal, okay, then you have to prepare a L section of the canal, right? So in the L section of the canal, you see the complete, in the x-axis you have to draw the distance, right? And then at the different location, you have to provide a complete information, means that what is the bank width, what is the freeboard, how much is the loss, okay, what is the critical velocity ratio, let us say in the case of this Kennedy method, what is the velocity, what is the full supply discharge, what is the full supply depth, means that this sheet, if that is available with you, that will provide a complete information at the different location of the canal. So from a construction point of view, virtually this L section of the canal that is being provided to the site engineer, okay, and from that the site engineer extract, okay, this is a summary sheet, you can say, in a proper way, at different changes, what is the bed width, what is the side slope, what is the manning coefficient, what is the velocity. In the next lecture, we'll discuss this line canal, detailing of the line canal. If you have any question, please let me know.